All right.
because it's coming from real experience. When you get to the point where a withdrawal is normal, that's how you know, that's confirmation that your mindset and everything that you're doing within your process is where it needs to be. When you get to the point where you make a withdrawal and it's like, okay, cool.
All right.
Not, oh man, I made a withdrawal, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? There's no celebration for a withdrawal. This is your business. Like, all right, profits, withdrawal.
Withdrawals.
Profit, withdrawal.
Withdrawal.
When you're at that point, when you're at the point where you're withdrawing profits, you understand? 1-0, withdrawal. 1-0, withdrawal. It's like, it's seamless. You're not celebrating. You're not emotional. You're not thinking about it. The process happens. When the process happens, you make the withdrawal. I told y'all before, every time I make a profit, I withdraw immediately. It spends no time in the account. Profit, withdrawal. And when you know, depending on how I'm trading for that week, it'll be so many withdrawals, I'll lose track and be forgetting about withdrawals. So by the time they hit in the bank, it's like, oh shit, I forgot about that money.
That's how you know when you straight forget about money that you got coming. That's how you know, man. All right, when y'all come on, make sure that you like the video. If you're coming on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notifications, share the video, like the video. If you're looking at this on IG, make sure that you like the stream and also follow on Instagram. All right. So, we do have another good topic for today. One that's kind of interesting. I'm going to try to stir the pot up a little bit with today's topic. Stir the pot. We're going to talk about a couple of things along the lines of trading not being for everybody. This ain't for everybody, man. It ain't for the lighthearted. I'll tell you that much. And I think that you need to have something that pushes you to pursue it once you make the decision to actually pursue trading as a business, trading as your career, because your reason for doing it has to be strong enough so that you persist. You must persist with this journey. You got to keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Oh, excuse me. I'm almost finished with the distribution of the content. Once I do that, then we'll be ready to begin. Yes, indeed. We will be ready to begin. What? Go ahead. And you better ask me too before you take them. Don't be just feeling, don't help yourself. You just asked me just now. But I know you don't always be asking, but you better ask. Okay. I count them. I count them, so I know if you took some. All right, so we're good there, and let me push it out one more time. One more again. Well, actually, two more times. And I thought I had the alarm set, but I don't hear it going off. Don't hear it going off. All right, so we good here. All right, once again, when you guys come on, please be sure to like the video. When you do that, notifications go out to more people and they get notified that I'm on live. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that as well, and make sure that you turn on the bell notifications. And also feel free to share the videos. Share the stream. Why not? All right. Let me come over to these chats so I can see where y'all are at. There we go. There we go. All right, let's see who we got in the building. Torre's in the building on IG. What's happening, bro? Yes, sirree. Ozzy's in the house. Jelani's here. Happy Thursday, sir. Maui Jeff is in the building. Ralston is here. GB, what up? Forrest, what up? Don, what up? I see Liza. I see Charles. And Dion, I see. What's happening, Dion? All right, excellent. Bilal's in the building as well. Melanie's in the building. All right. My shooters. I got my shooters on deck. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so we're going to get into the topic for today. Why trading is really not for the average person. Gonna stir the pot up a little bit. You know, we would like to believe what we do is something anybody could do. That's first off, right? What we do, anybody can't do. Now, it's not because anybody is not capable of doing it. It's because if you're average, you ain't gonna do it. Uh-oh. We already getting into the energy. Hold on. Let me get Don DeMarco up. Let me get the focus. Let me get the focus. See, like, I like talking about this type of stuff because it makes you think. You, the viewer. It just makes people think. You know, when you see when you see the title, you're like, what do you mean by that? And then when we get into it, you start to see where I'm going. I'm telling you, there's always some good stuff here. Tracy, what's up? All right, so yes, Jay Carly's funny. She said this takes a certain type of person, and not everyone is built like that. That is correct. That is correct. She said, now, do I believe that you're an amazing teacher and TA is amazing? Yes. Do I believe that it can be learned by anyone? Yes. Do I believe that anyone will do it? Hell no. Hell no. She put the emphasis on that. Come on, that's the first one right there. Now, my thing is, all right, so we understand that everybody ain't gonna do it. We understand that the average person ain't gonna do it. So it means that it must be extraordinary. Listen to this. If the average person does not do something, it means that what we're making reference to requires more than average. Uh-oh. It's exactly why average people never become wealthy. Average people always are in financial situations that they can't handle a lot of times. Average people fail at so many different things. Think about it. Average people. So this immediately lets you know that it will require above average in order to achieve. So if you consider yourself the average person, you won't achieve nothing, because it means that you're part of the herd. You got the herd mentality, like, oh well, that's not for everyone. Everyone can't do that. It's not designed for us all to do it. What are you talking about? And this is exactly how people sound. Y'all know what I'm talking about. People sound like this. Oh, it's not for everyone. It should be easier. What are you talking about? Why? Why is it supposed to be easier? Because what you're calling hard ain't hard. If you average, everything is hard to you. If you average, it's hard just for you to go to work. You complain about that. Like, let's really get to it. So, like, this is a powerful stream today, because this is going to help average people stop thinking average. If you find yourself sounding like how I just sounded just now, you're average. You're the average person. Oh, it's too hard. Oh, I can't afford to do that right now. I don't have the time. That's average. You sound average. And that's why the outcome of stuff you do is average. Your lifestyle is average. Everything about you is average. But you complain about it. That's the thing. That's the part right there that I don't like. If you want to be average, that's cool. But just be average. Don't complain about being average, though. You see? This is the part that really pisses me off, because it's like, you want to be average, but then try to do everything that requires above average. How does that work? If you want to be average, just be average. Don't be average and then complain about being average as if everything you're trying to do is so hard to do. Hitting the nerve. So like I said, if you know that this sounds like you, it means that you're average. If you want to stop being average, you have to stop doing average things. You have to stop thinking average. You got to stop. Period. Period. There's no alternative to that. You're going to have to stop doing that. So stop the complaining part. Come on, like, stop. You complain about everything. Nothing's right. Nothing is right. It's like, this is the same type of mentality that creates a cheapskate. You know how people be cheap? You know why people are cheap? Because they always feel like you're trying to take from them, so they don't want you to take from them, so they want to hold it all to themselves, so they're cheap. Everything about them is cheap. They don't want to pay a tip. And listen, let me tell you something. First of all, anybody that don't like the tip is average and cheap. You go out to eat somewhere and you don't tip, you a cheapskate and you average. I don't care how much money you think that you have. Or no, I'm not like that. I don't tip because of this. No, you don't tip because your mindset is wrong. You all wrong for that. You're wrong. You're supposed to tip. I done seen people tip somebody $2. I seen people walk away and not give a tip at all. That tell me everything about you right there. I'm like, you a cheapskate. I ain't rock with you. Period. We gonna get into it. We gonna get into it. Oh Lord. Tracy said most people are willing to get uncomfortable enough to go through this process. I think you're saying most people are not. She said basically what we are trying to achieve freedom is not average. Bam. Bam Bam Bigelow. She said what they think is hard is the sacrifice that they have to make to get the results. They are not willing to invest in themselves. Period. What she just said, the end. And that's what it is. So like, don't try to make it more than that because it ain't more than that. That's what it is. That's what you're doing. And if you don't want that to be you, you have to stop being like that. So don't be complaining about what things involve and what they entail in order for you to achieve them. Because why would it be as easy as you're trying to make it seem that it should be just so you can do it because you lazy and you don't really want to do no real work? Uh-oh. You lazy, so you call everything hard. You lazy, so everything is, I don't have the time for that. And lazy's mental. Lazy is in here. Crazy. Jay Carly said, I can name 20 people easy that would have jumped off a bridge having gone through what I did. Don said, average people have sheep mentality all day. She said, but that's because of my own shit and not many people can look at themselves with real honesty. Facts. Because they be in denial. And another thing that's be funny is like when you have conversations with them, they talk about this behavior as if it's not them. They be in total denial about it. I'm like, well, are you kidding me? That's you. What you just described is you. They be like, I can't stand people that always complain and complain and complain. I'm like, that's you. It's you. So you just said you can't stand yourself. That's what you really saying. Because you do it. But Lau, if you want to be successful in life, you can't be normal. You have to be abnormal. Listen. And you know what I like about that word abnormal? Is the ab means above. You have to be above normal. Come on, man. Come on. GB, I know that you don't teach how to trade, but instead a mindset. Do you think that some will achieve this mindset faster than others? Oh, yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Because the pace that you achieve at just has more to do with your desire and your willingness to do it more than anything. Because it doesn't mean that, oh, you smarter than the next person because you got there faster. It could just simply be you wanted it more than everybody else did. So you went and got it. That definitely happens. You know, it's rare that it will happen fast, so to speak, but somebody going to do it before somebody else will. So, you know, are naturally going to be, you're going to see the person that does it before others do. So it'll seem like, oh, well, they wanted it more. I mean, it just worked itself out that way. But there's people that are just on the journey who want it bad. And it just takes the necessary time that it takes for you to get through the things that you have to go through to get there. You understand what I'm saying? Which is why I always bring it to, it doesn't matter how long it takes. And so listen, Me saying it don't matter how long it takes, it doesn't mean, oh, well, you could take as long as you want. That's not what that means. Me saying that it takes however long it takes and it doesn't matter how long that is, it just helps you to understand that you're in the process the whole time. You understand? You following? You are in the process the entire time. So you don't want to use that as a crutch, like, oh well, it's gonna take however long it takes. So, I'm gonna do this for now. I'm gonna get back to it. It's like now you use that as an excuse and then you start to interrupt the process. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you being in the process the whole time. And it takes however long it takes. Not, oh, well, it's going to take however long it takes, so I'm going to go and do this in the meantime. No, because now what you're doing is you're pulling yourself away from the process, which is slowing you down. So you're making a decision to slow down. I'm not talking about doing that at all. I'm talking about, you know what? Find ways to do more. Not less. Find ways to do more. Train more. Observe more. If you understand what I'm saying? You finding ways to do more versus finding ways to do less and then use the time as the excuse not to do. Because people will do that too. They get comfortable because they don't necessarily want to work as hard because they feel like it's gonna take too much time. But the reason it's taking you so long for many people is because you making it longer. You're doing everything that makes it take longer. Don't do that. Don't do that. See what happens when you focus more. See what happens when you train more. See what happens when you observe the market more, trade less. Just see what happens. See what happens when you record more. Like all of the things that lead to you winning with what we're doing, do more of it and see what happens then. Don't do less of it and then say, oh, well, I'm taking my time. Do more. So that's why this is a great dialogue to have. This is great. This is great. And that was a good question, GB. Jay Carly said it should be easier. She said, what? They weird. Life is hard because they soft. Facts. That is all facts. Don, most people are scared to go against the status quo because challenging the status quo takes guts. It does. It does. Payless, I don't have the time, but the market creates more time. GB said, I'm below average because I keep blowing my account. Oh, man. Charles said, people love being basic. Teddy, what's happening, man? I see Nico over here, too. What's up, Nico? Ozzy, just like the same way that TA knowledge is not for the average person. Ooh. He said, unless you're ready to stop being average. Whoa. There we go. Woo. Hard. That's hard. Hard. He said that TA knowledge ain't for the average person. Unless you ready to stop being average. Whoa. Come on, man. Come on. That was hard. Payless, you can't be above average if you have low level patience. People can't think about not getting a trade in a day or a week. That too. That too. Impatience. Oh, I ain't get a trade today. Shut up. Talking about a damn trade. You don't even know why you should be trading. Talking about you ain't get a trade. Don, me personally, I never had a plan B when I decided I wanted to trade. I was all in. Sounds familiar. Sounds very familiar. Jay Carly, there's nothing worse to me than being ordinary. That's why I do every extraordinary. Yep. Yeah, some of us can't even help but to be extraordinary. You just be extra with everything. Jay Carly's extra. Extra. Read all about it. Pilly said, average mindset, average results. Facts. Mark G, having financial freedom is not a real concept for the average person. Whoa. He said it's a fairy tale to them. They find security in their job. Oh, man.
I'm focused, man.
Whoa. Stirring the pot today. I told y'all, man. Stirring the pot. And see, I like this because I want average people to see this and get mad. I want you to be upset. Because you need to be upset. When you realize that you average, you should be mad about that. Unless you don't mind being average. If you good with being average, do your thing. But you can't be average and then be complaining about it. That right there, that's unacceptable. That's why anyone that's complaining, I want you to see this and get mad. Get mad, but don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at us. Get mad at yourself. Because you being average is a decision that you making. Come on, man. Don said, there's a lot of rich people who don't tip. I call them lowlifes on the $1,000 tab. I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of rich cheapskates. Make no mistake about that one. Cheapskate. I don't like that. Jay Carly, even bad service needs a tip. You never know what someone is going through. This is very true. See, the way that I do tips is whatever I would normally give for excellent service. If your service was mediocre, I just give you less money. You know, you ain't really gonna know because you got a tip, but you also don't know what you would have gotten if your service was excellent either. Ooh. Lulu's the type, she'll tell you that you was gonna get a bigger tip. She'll be like, we would have given you a bigger tip if you had better service. She'll straight tell you that, like, and then it's like, oh snap, dang. So she'll be like, that's the real tip. She'll be like, that's the real tip right there. And it is, if you think about it, because now you gave them something to think about, like that. I ain't even think about that. But you ain't gonna know now, because you got the smaller tip. You see, you didn't get the full tip. You got the mediocre service tip. Oh man, Jay Carter said, if you can't afford the tip, you can't afford to go out and eat. What? Let the church say amen to that. Come on now. Come on. Listen. If you ain't gonna tip, get a DiGiorno and stay in the house. You ain't gonna tip when you go outside. Listen, just stay home and eat Honey Nut Cheerios. You be all right. For real, this don't go nowhere. I agree. Ashton, what's good, man? Ramon in the building. What's up, man? Jay Carter said, my life is hard, but so am I. She said, if I complain, I'd never shut up. That is a fact. That's a fact. Yes. Oh yeah, because I think GB was joking though. At least I hope so. When he was talking about the account getting blown. Yeah, I think he was joking. But yes, 301 mindset on repeat. Everyone isn't willing to die in their present state to be birthed into what they need to be, because it's easy to conform to the group mentality, but winners do what's necessary until. That was hard. Listen. He put the until in all caps. Crazy. He said winners do what's necessary until. In other words, until it happens. Mo, what's up? Don, some people that achieve trading faster because some just have a natural gift. But understand, with your mental capabilities, if you want it, you will achieve making the best of your limitations. Yes. That's yes, right. Right, because hard work beats talent. You can outwork somebody if you're not as talented as they are. Whoa. You can outtrain somebody else if you're not as talented as they are. So just think about that. Put the work in. Yep. Paley is taking more trades makes the time longer. I agree. Taking more trades and not knowing why you're taking them definitely will prolong, because you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose in between. If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, come on, man. Oh, that's Altorius. Oh, all right. What's up, man? He's like, let me let y'all know who this is. Altorius. Altorius. He need theme music now when you say his name. That's what it sounds like. Emily said, "You talking to me?" She said, "Believe me, I know." That's how the vibe is, man. The vibe exposes us. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But see, this is what TA is all about, because TA is the answer too. Whew. TA is the answer. J. Carly said, "Facts. Don't complain about shit you're not willing to change and have the ability to." Whew. Whoa. Bilal, average people don't realize that they're living lives of mediocrity and servitude. They exchange freedom for an illusion of security and safety.
I'm focused, man.
All in your chest. All in your chest area. Stirring the pot today. Stirring the pot. Hold on, let me look at this euro real quick. See what this euro looking like. The euro's looking good. This one was very close too. The current binary, it was very close. Almost there. Yep, almost there. All right, so we're gonna keep observing that. All right, good to know. Good to know. Salim, if I was average, I wouldn't have developed OCD from trading and slap a poor guy with your foot medical condition. Ramon, Lulu's life lessons, right? Yeah, Lulu's advice on tipping. Delani, I could imagine her saying that to a waiter, waitress. Yup, she'll run right up to them. She'll hold them by the hand and everything. She'll be like, "You can catch more. What is it? Catch more flies with honey than with vinegar? Whatever the saying is. She'll say something like that. Something crazy. You're like, you only got half tip. You could have got full tip, but no. Your service wasn't full. Have a good evening. Lulu was crazy. Jeff, vibration is infectious. You hang with low level vibe. You stay in that vibration. You hang with TA. You elevate because the vibrations are so high. Yes. 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 That's why you gotta be careful who's in your circle. Because the ones in your circle can hurt you. Ozzy said, I just had my anti-average vaccine and I'm good now. That's hard. That was hard. Mo said, I may not be as smart as a lot of people, but I will train my ass off. Facts. Facts. And when people are training too, because training raises up your energy and you start to move. You start doing stuff like you'll get on the platform, start recording, start doing the study. Like it's like you activate. When you train, it activates you. And it's like, what is it activating? There's seeds that are planted into you every time that you listen to training. And those seeds get activated when you play training again. So the more that you train, every time that you train and you hear it, it activates the seeds. And the seed starts growing. Next thing you know, you start to elevate. You see what I'm saying? This is what I mean about like how you don't even know that you grow. You don't even know that you elevate. You just do it. And it's the training and the repetition of it that it makes all them seeds start to pop. And it keeps planting new seeds at the same time. It's like it's an unlimited process that keeps going on, man. So that's what it is. Forex, nothing worth having is easy. Sitting around complaining never got anybody anywhere. Average people sitting around complaining and making excuses. He said, F excuses. Come on, man. Come on.
Down the Mongo. Down the Mongo.
J-Card, you can picture that. Lulu, right? Oh, gosh. Mark G, I was trying to put my friend on the TA the other day. She works 50 hours a week, takes classes afterwards. I told her I have around 1,000 into my market tuition. She was blown away that I have risked that much money in a year and a half. I asked her how much time and money she's putting into her degree. Crickets. Woo! Ooh. Ooh, that's hard, though. That whole conversation is hard. All right, let me just recap what Mark just said. He was having a conversation with a friend that he told about TA. Told her he put in about 1,000 in a year and a half in market tuition. And she was blown away by that. And then he asked her how much did she risk for her degree, and she ain't have nothing to say. Perspective. Exactly. He said that's the average mindset for you. Yes. But look at that perspective, because his question is valid. The question he asked her, that's valid. It's like, wait, you talking about $1,000? Like it's a mill or something. Wait, how much you spend for your degree? Oh, okay. So in other words, what you consider your degree to be, that's how I feel about what I'm doing in trading. It's worth every penny. Come on. Come on. Come on. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like your thinking and your thought process has to be above average. The way that her response even was, that's how average people think. That's how they think. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that they don't know, they're not educated. And that's why it's so important to me to always educate through these lives, because I feel like at least you'll have more insight into what this really is versus what you think that it is. Because trading is not what you think it is. Trading is an actual legitimate business that you can be in. It's an actual legitimate career you can have as a profitable trader. But you have to have the right training, of course, and you have to have the right information, the right knowledge, and the right education. Just like you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I want people more so to understand about trading out the gate. So that way you don't have it twisted, because most people have it twisted. It's twisted in the mainstream. In the mainstream, nobody, everybody think, as soon as you say trading, they think you're talking about the stock market. Like that's the only market in the world, because that's what's in the mainstream. You see? So it's that type of thing. But that's all it is. It's just a matter of information and being made aware. Jay Carly said, Mark G, they never want to see it. Even the people that have joined because of me didn't last. They're like, it's too hard, it takes too long, I don't get it. Shaking my head. She said, that's why I literally quit telling people, and people that ask me, I literally send them to the education series. Right. Right. Don says, success is just doing average tasks that the average won't do. Hard. Jay Carly, I spend zero time trying to convince people. Yep. Paylays, if you outweigh your BS, you start to see other people's BS in the market and outside the market. Yep. Ashton said, welcome to TA University. For real though. For real. Mark G said, Jay Carly, it's crazy. I don't even like talking about TA to friends anymore because we're not on the same level. Right. She said, I don't either. It usually pisses me off. There's someone that I know and he is getting trade signals and I lost my shit. I'm like, so you ain't want to learn then, huh? Are you kidding me? People are funny with that though. They be funny with them signals. They really be wanting signals like, yo, I'm about to subscribe to the signal service and I'm gonna get this account up real quick. Like, all right, man. Okay. Tracy said, honestly, I'd be scared to tell certain people about TA because I'd be thinking, nah, you might not make it over here, bro. Yeah, you could tell, and it's funny because it's like you feel like you could tell who would make it and who wouldn't. But to be honest, you never know. But I understand like the feeling because I don't even know the number of people I never told. There's people right now that know that just think I just make YouTube videos. They don't even know what I do. Like they just think I just be on YouTube. Oh, you still on YouTube? I'm like, have you ever like watched a video? That's how I know that they never even watch. I'm like, if you actually watched the video, you wouldn't ask me that. If you watched any video, like any live stream, you would never ask me, oh, are you on YouTube? Because you'd be like, oh, snap. That's what he does. That's how I know that they ain't even watch. So I'm like, you know what? Just go ahead. Yeah, I still make videos. That's it. Yep, train or die. Tracy said, I hate to block the blessing or prejudge, but some people, you already know. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You know, it's like that uncle that you got that you know, like, nah, I can't tell you about nothing because nothing ever worked for you. Uncle Star, he get to telling you stories. Oh, that sound like something I was doing back in '88. Like '88, I was 10. I was 10 in '88. Don't tell me nothing about what you was doing in '88. Jeff said, Mark G.J. Carly, normal people don't get it because we on a high vibration. All facts. Jelani, people that I've told about TA and NADEX will grill me more than they would grill someone about a job. Ooh. He said people want to see results without understanding the hard work and sacrifice that it takes. We got to get the dime for that. Very true.
Down the Mongo. Down the Mongo.
So true. So true. Ashton, somebody showed me a Acon and asked me what to do. Asked me what do I see? I said a forest. This is the same way I feel about putting $100 in your NADEX account and tell me what you see. That's hard. Oh, okay. I remember now. I remember who the person was. Okay. I remember now. I think I said something too at the time. I realized that now. Weston. Yeah, he was trying to say acorn. Cause I was like Akon. I was like Akon. I was like, what Akon doing? I was like, Akon asked you about a forest? I'm locked up. Micah said TA is the right way. Yes, it is. Jelani, I'm not afraid to tell the people that I wanted to tell. I don't want them to tell me that I didn't tell them when I reach freedom. Right. He said they'll be so quick to say, oh, you never told me. Yeah, I did. So true. Right, it's like you got a certain list that you just know. Like, you know, let me just tell y'all so y'all can't say that. Yep. Very true. That sound like a lot of people I know right there. Like, you never told me. Like, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah, poor kid. Yep. Still searching. He's still looking for what's in plain sight. Yeah, but this is a good conversation though. I like this because people be funny when they think they not the average person. That always be amazing to me. I'm like, you really think that it's not you, huh? You're describing yourself, literally. Everything you just said is you. Crazy. Paley said it's all about perspective. When you see day trading not as day trading, it opens a whole new world in your head. Right. Right, because it's not even like even that. Just even these different terminologies that people use. Oh, you a day trader? Like, no, I'm not a day trader. I might get a trade at night. So then if I get one at night, I'm a night trader. It might come in the afternoon. I don't know. Like, no. I'm an observationalist. That's what I am. I'm an observationalist. Ramon, I see you winding and crying up on the market. Akon. Right. Forrest said, I had a coworker tell me that I'm doing pretty good at that NADEX game. I told them that I'm doing this in real life. Right. Right. Because anytime, and that's another thing too. When somebody tells you about that, they talking about demo. They talking about demo account. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Like, you a demo millionaire. There's a lot of demo millionaires out there too. It's mad people that made $1 million in a demo account. Bunch of them. Tracy said, I'm glad ain't no network marketing connected with this because we really don't got to tell people ish for a residual check. The skill set is the check over here. Ooh, come on.
Down the Mongo. Down the Mongo.
Woof. The skill is the bag over here. Come on, man. Come on. Skill is the bag. That's what I'm talking about, Tracy. Yeah, midday trader. Oh, snap. I'm a sunrise trader. I'm a sunset trader. Ashton said, I actually told someone that I am an observationalist. Hope I spelled it right. For real, though. I like to do that, too, because it'll stir up a conversation where you might, well, not even might, you'll have an opportunity to actually educate them a little bit when you say stuff like that, and then they be like, oh, what's that? Because, like, what that mean? I thought you messed around with stocks. Nope. I'm an observationalist. What does that mean? Well, I observe the market and wait for it to pay me. What? Now I got your attention because what I'm saying makes sense, and that's what I actually do. And then now you never heard it from that perspective. You see? So it changes the dynamic of what somebody's false perception is already. It's like your whole idea of what it is off. So I can't even describe what I'm doing from the perspective that you understand it through because you've already made a decision about that perspective. It's just like if I told you, oh, I trade Forex. You immediately put me right in the group with everybody else that trades Forex. So I would never say that to nobody. Like, I don't trade Forex. I'm an observationalist. What's that? Now I can educate you. Because you definitely don't know what it is that I actually do. And what I realize is that that's why I can't even have regular conversations with people about anything. So I'm either going to send them to videos like the education series. I definitely send them there because they need to be educated. It's like you just need to be kind of brought up to speed with what this is. You see me moving around and you see me doing certain things and you still try and figure out what I'm doing. You gotta actually take the time to sit down and look. You know what I mean? Because even if I tell you, you still ain't gonna understand. But you know, it is what it is. There we go. Don said, I'm a receiving specialist. Yo, you know what? You should be like, listen, I'm in accounts receivable. What you do? Oh, I'm in accounts receivables.
Down the Mongo. Down the Mongo.
Payleys, when you position yourself, you never lose time because if you made 8,000 on a trade for the month, you said it's like making 2,000 every week for the month. Yeah, that's right. And you could, and the thing about it is that you actually are able to position yourself however you want to be positioned. Not because you can just snap your fingers and do it, but because you have the skill set to put you in the position. The same skill set that pays you when you're in the position. So the same skill set that puts you in the position is the same skill set that pays you when you're in the position. Hard.
I'm focused, man.
That's hard. Joel, you can't look at this like one will look at their 9 to 5. No, you cannot. Again, this is why you can't be the average person and endeavor on trading. You cannot be the average person. You got to remember the average person has the employee mindset. So they don't even understand, they can't even comprehend certain things that we talk about. That's why I'm saying, like, in just general conversations that I have with people, I can't ever explain what I do. So I got to be real basic and give an opportunity at least to educate them a little bit. That's why saying something like, oh, well, I'm an observation specialist, because that's going to make you ask me questions now, instead of you just keeping it limited to your own perspective of what you think I'm doing. Just like if I said, oh, well, I trade. Oh, well, what do you trade? You in crypto? What are you doing? You trading Bitcoin? No. You trading Forex? No. Then if I'm like, I trade NADEX, I trade binaries. Oh, I heard about binaries before. You know, like, so it's so many ways it can spin around. I don't even be wanting to do that. So I purposely will say something that will force them to ask me questions to get them educated a little bit, at least. Yep. Right. Look, Asher said, tell about it. Trying to tell people about TA is almost impossible. That's why I don't even do it, because fortunately there's a lot of like content and there's a lot of videos. So you really can just send them to videos and then they can get into the vibration. They'll know from an educational video whether this is something that they want to do. If they watch that and they want more, it might be something that they really want to do. If they watch it and they like, I don't know about all that, then go ahead and go that way, because this is not for you. If you don't take the time to become educated, you know that this ain't for you. You're not even willing to become educated about it. So this ain't for you. And it's okay. It's all right. Freedom ain't for everybody, because that's what this is. That's what this leads to. You see? So don't talk. So now that you told me that this ain't for you, don't talk to me about freedom no more. Because we not in the same room. We're not even in the same room having a conversation now. If you were exposed to this and then you said no, we can't even talk about freedom now. We can't talk about that, because it's a different level. My thinking is not where yours is, obviously. So that too, you know. That too. That's why I be leaving people alone, man. I just mind my business. I be leaving everybody alone. Yep. Don said, I know a guy who knows I trade for the last 2 years. He's been telling me he wants to trade. He made the comment, if it's in God's plan, I will. But he always complains he's tired of his job. I'm tired of his complaining. Cutoff game. Right. That's right. See, Don knows, yo, I'm telling y'all, man. When anytime you around people that always be complaining about the same thing, and then you try to help them by introducing them to something that can help them. Like TA is something that can help anybody. But you got to be you really have to want to help yourself though. Like you can't just leave it at, oh, well, I can't stay in my job and I'm looking for something and I'm looking into this, and come on, like, all right, I got something for you. Here, go here. You send them some education about what it is and they still complaining. Come on, nah, man. Nope. Tracy said, yeah, the ones who are for TA will find us. We don't need to seek them out or drag them to freedom. Woo. Whoa. IG gonna cut off. I'm gonna come back on though. She dropped a bomb on IG before she left. Well, she didn't leave voluntarily. IG made her leave. That was Tracy just now with that though. That was hard. All right, so IG is back. Yep. All right, IG's back up. Yeah, but that whole thing about God's plan and all that, crazy. He said God waiting on you. Indeed. Right, God is waiting on you, brother. Asher said you have to want TA in order for it to make sense. And see, so what? So listen, that right there is synonymous with freedom, and that's how you know when somebody's serious about it and somebody's not. Not to say that TA is the only means or way to achieve freedom, but I mean, I can't compare it to nothing else. I really can't. I've been involved with a lot of things. I can't compare nothing to this. There's no comparison to nothing. Y'all understand that, right? Nothing. And there's a lot of good things you could do. There's a lot of things you could do to be profitable and be successful. I can't compare it to nothing. Like, for real. Can't compare it to nothing. I remember when, and this was last year. I think this might have been last year or maybe earlier this year. I did a live stream talking about, like how profitable trading is the best business, period. And we were having conversations, like talking about, like, what other businesses, what other things are out there that you think you can compare trading to? And people brought things up. But when we went through the conversation about it, it was like, nah, I really can't compare that to this. In every instance, it's like, yeah, that's pretty good, but nah, not really. Nah, you can't really compare that to this, because I'll give you an example. Like, a couple of things that came up was like, real estate. Like, say that you own real estate, you renting out the property, whatever. You collecting rental fees. You got the rent roll. So that's like, that's cash flow. Of course, you have things that are outgoing when your rent comes in. So the net that you earn off of a property is not what you think that it actually is. When you look at what the bottom line is, you realize how much you have to do just to get to whatever the bottom line is. I'm just using that one as an example. Just that one. So we compared it to that. And the comparison was like, well, if you're trading profitably, you get to keep all the money. Like, you don't have there's no overhead. You don't got to pay for anything. You see what I'm saying? Like, so if you have like a rent roll from real estate, from rental real estate or whatever the case may be, you got a lot of outgoing expenses that you have to pay. You got to pay for the upkeep of the property, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot that goes out from that income. And then we use other businesses. You know, you have a business, you have expenses for the business, outgoing expenses. It's like, well, when you trade, it's like 100% profit. Like with what the money that you make, it's all yours. The only expense that you have is your lifestyle. Literally. The only expense you have is your lifestyle. So whatever you just spend money on, that's what your expenses are. But that's living. You see, it's not like it's a part of the actual thing that's generating the income for you. What's generating your income is your skill set in the market, cash cow, period. You can't compare nothing to that. I'm sorry. You just can't. You just can't compare anything to that. David O, what's happening, man? She said it's the best way I know of, period. If you think about it, everything else you would have to sell something or deal with customers. She said, I'm getting tired of people. Matter of fact, that's the main reason I got serious about trading in 2015. No people to deal with. All right. He said, you about to make me scrap this tax business. Paley said, people don't understand this isn't just a market channel, it's a wisdom channel as well, so you don't have to trade. You can apply this knowledge in many different ways. That's why they have the average mindset. Yes. Yes, Don said some people just like to feed off your energy to make themselves feel good, nothing else. Facts. Ramon said, TA, Don, but they're never going to do what they say they want to do. Right. Paley said, God waiting on you to go to TA. Ramon, TA is like a fine woman that you can't talk to until you have all your marbles in place. If you go at it half-assed, you will never get the results you want out of TA. Sound like anything in life, don't it? Prevention. I was in this group formerly. I see the same thing going on. My question in all the years of TA, why is it not others that is free like he claimed? This is a cult. Anybody here that makes a living from this, I'll wait. Well, there actually are people that make a living from trading from TA. So your terminology is a little ill though. You said this is a cult. It sounds like you're saying that like that's bad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, it sounded a little trollish. He said he was in the group before. So you're saying that you trained with TA before? What's your name? What's your real name? I'll wait. Mark G said there's people on this chat that are free. Yep. And even more importantly, being on the path to freedom. That's a decision that people make. That's not light. That's not lightweight. That's not light work. Just like I forgot who said it earlier, but he said that you on the path until it happens. That's it. That's it. Period. Yeah, but I'm still waiting for them to tell me who they are. They ain't gonna tell me. I think that might be the same dude that likes to come around every now and then, and say his piece and then leave. So he probably ain't gonna respond no more. Exactly. Yep. Right. Freedom cult. Oh, snap. Forrest said, I'll drink the Kool-Aid. It's grape Kool-Aid. Come on, let's go. It's great. Yeah, I always get a kick out of that. Yo, we drinking grape Kool-Aid over here. Come on, man. Right, hella sugar with no ice. Yep, yep. Yeah, he already left. He left because he thought I was gonna block him already, so he left. He ain't gonna say nothing else. Yeah, that's the same dude. That's him. He's back. He ain't been around in a while, actually. Yeah, he been going for a minute. Oh, the name of the profile on here was Scammer Prevention. You know, as soon as I saw that, I knew it was him. Because he always makes up names like that. This dude said Scammer Prevention. Trip. Ramon said, if you were in here, you witnessed the people that make a living out of this. I'm almost there, so you'll hear from me soon. Ooh, whoa, Ramon, whoa. Come on, man. Talk the talk. Talk the talk. How you like them apples? Melanie said, your freedom starts with mindset, and obviously you never got that far. Oh boy, here come the shooters. Here come the shooters.
I'm focused, man.
Bad. Ashley said, that's why I look at my $35 a month as dues to run a business. Every business has to pay dues. And the dues are super low. Amen. See, like people don't understand the idea of skin in the game. It's like, we had a whole discussion about that. And I'm like, if I really wanted to be somebody that's like out to get everybody, don't you think I would charge way more money? If that's what I was doing it for, like, come on, like it doesn't even make sense. Like their arguments don't even make sense. And that's why I laugh at it. And I'm like, listen, collectively as the group goes now, I'm conditioning everybody to record. I'm conditioning everybody to have the documentation, because I know what that means just for the people on the outside looking in. It's like the same way that people look at my videos and they're like, that. So now what it does is it's like, well, all right, well, it's him doing it though. He the only one I see doing that. And that's because they don't have a lot of other videos from anybody else to see. But that's going to change. I'm conditioning the group to be this way. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how I am. Documentation, recording. So as we move that way now, you ain't gonna really be able to say anything, because we're gonna have a bunch of videos from everybody that's showing exactly how people are moving into freedom for themselves. What you gonna say then? So it's like everything is very, the way that I think, I always think forward, and that's how I make my decisions as far as the things I choose to do and to focus on. That's why I have everybody in the group doing this. You're going to record. You're going to get into the habit, because that documentation is not just for them. It's not just to prove to everybody that you did it. It's also a part of the journey that you're on. It's a part of your training process. You know what recordings do for you. They bring you awareness. They help you to understand the process that you're learning. Like, there's so much. Like, this is just remarkable, everything that we're really doing. And that's how you know, like, people really don't understand what's going on. They don't understand what's actually happening and how real it is. Like, come on, man. I'm creating beasts. This dude right here is going. The whole group is becoming this. Look at his face. Just look how he looks. He's not playing. He's like, I do this. I do it. Look at his face. This is the mindset. Beast mode. Come on, man. Come on. Tracy said, I pay $2.99 a month, but don't get no ideas, Mark. I know, right? Oh, man. Yeah, man. Yep. So I love it. Russell said, don't forget your Uncle Sam. Indeed. Fran. Oh, that's another thing, taxes. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little later. Fran, trading is the most difficult and at the same time the easiest business to run. Come on, Fran. Come on. Come on. J. Carr said, of course, it's a cult of freedom. She said, and I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid all day, every day. Yep. All facts. Mo said it's occult, which means hidden. He who has eyes, let him see TA. Woo!
I'm focused, man.
Come on now, you get educated on the words you're using. That's right. That's right. Yep. Jay Cardi said that was really smart blocking me though. I gotta give it up. Right. He know who to block because he know what he came in here to do. He just comes in with his 2 cents and then leaves. That's his MO. And I think he took his meds today because he was a little light. He wasn't too heavy with it. Yeah, he took his meds today. I know, that's how I felt too. I was getting excited too. Jay Cardi said, I'm kind of hyped. We ain't have a troll for months. Right. Right. Yeah, real scam is the dude that can't even reveal his name. Right. He self-escorted himself out the chat. Yes, he did. Yep, and he is not coming back. Yo, these people is a trip. Ramon said he's scamming us out of $35 a month. Meanwhile, your signal provider is scamming you out of hundreds per month and more out of your bank account with your losses. But that's none of my business. Kyle said pay 301. 301. Jay Carly, we said it before, but you're the worst scammer like ever in the history of ever. Right, right. It's so funny because I'm like, yeah, if I was a scammer, I'm pretty bad. I'm kind of horrible. I ain't gonna get rich off of that shit. Nope. I'm getting rich. Mark G, I find it surprising. He said, I find it surprising that someone can be so bitter when you charge them $35 a month for market knowledge. And I really want to know who it is because he never said that. That's the first time he said he was in the group before. He never said that before. And as I'm thinking back more and more now, I think he has been around. I think he's been around like this week. I think he is one of the dudes that we was talking to, and he was like, he sounded like he was in training before. And I think that you had even asked him, Jay Carly. He was like, were you in training with us before? He was like, no. I think it's him. I think on different days, like depending on how he feels, he'll come on and he'll ask questions and try to get more knowledge. And then on other days, he flips out when he don't, like when he's not on his meds the right way. Like I'm not even joking. I think that this is the same person. I honestly think it's the same dude. Crazy. That's crazy. It's like he got multiple personality disorder or something. Right, exactly. Right. The day he loses in the market, that's when he's on talking shit. Exactly. Exactly. He comes on, he be mad at me again. He come on and he mad again. Yup. It's crazy. Kyle said he keep coming in here, he'll convert. I don't know, man. He got the devil in him. And the devil, like, it gets to him. Sometimes the demons just come out. But we constantly just splashing him with holy water. Like, listen, the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. Yo, we just splashing with the holy water every day. Every day he be experiencing the exorcism. She said, better create a chat 3. Wow. Jeff, crazy. Most parents push their kids to go to college and they're okay with paying out all that money. Now tell that same parent, let's go get $35 a month. It'll educate you on financial freedom. They're like, no, it's too much. Right. All twisted. Yep. Ashley said, if this is scamming, take all my money. Yo, for real though, for real. Kalisha, what's up? Crazy. Yeah, right. I think his attitude changes when he be losing. When he's winning, he feels good and he wants to come in here and like be a part of it. When he losing, he's mad. When he losing, he flips out. He be saying all type of shit. Oh, you got the macaroons? Up. Uh-oh. The resin macaroons. Yeah, completely random. But you know I need those. I need a couple of those for the keychain. Yo, my keychain is mad heavy now. It was light for a minute, it's heavy now. Yep. My keychain is mad heavy now. Yeah, but this was a good topic today again. I mean, they all be real good. This is definitely one that's going to stir the pot. Yep. Definitely going to stir the pot. Oh, word, who's that? Oh, I think I know who that is. Who's that? And this market gonna close. Now this is the last binary until it reopens at 6. Yeah, reopens at 6. All right, cool. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. I think I'm gonna take a power nap for an hour. For real. Or 2. Now that's funny. That is funny. GB said he mad because he's still waiting on the 50 moving average to cross the 200. Yo, that's hilarious. That is funny. Yo, y'all are nuts, man. Y'all are insane. Yes, exactly. Ramon said, Don, the never gonna happen. He been waiting for months. It's been 84 years. Yeah, y'all are silly, man. Y'all are nuts. But yes, man. So another great topic. Why trading is really not for the average person. Covered a lot actually in this live. And we finally got a troll back, man. It's been a while, man. Welcome back. Welcome back to the trolls, to the troll gang. Hashtag troll gang. Let's go. Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. All right. I need to go get some salad. I'm out. All right, y'all. I'm out.
Down the Marco, down the Marco.